Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome to episode 129 of FLA Exposure, brought to you by our friends over in England and soon to be here in Canada and Envisage Sport pre-workout coffee. Give it a try, folks. Delicious and available in bulk quantities. We have one right there, 10 packs or singles over here. Give it a try. Check it out. Anyway, we got a great show lined up here tonight. We're going to bring on one of my good buddies here from the scene. He competed for lots of events in the past, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, other things as well. He's a black belt, super talented guy, but also a very, very good friend of mine and a guy who's done a lot for the East Coast scene here. He's, he's probably one of those guys on if you counted 5 people in the East Coast scene that everybody loves and could not say a bad word about, it may be even 3. He'd be probably top 3. So let's bring him on, folks. We want to chat about this event. I know he's not probably super happy with his performance, but he, in my opinion, he should always hold his head high. He has certainly nothing to ever be ashamed of. He's a super talented guy, and he always does great work. So let's bring him on. John Williams. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Awesome, man. Not bad at all. Not bad. Hanging in here. Hanging in.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. We obviously we tried to get you on here before, and I screwed up, and I basically screwed up, so it didn't happen. So thanks for your patience and coming back, man, and thanks again for competing. Let's talk about it. You've competed in a ton of my events, man, and events in general. But how did you feel? Like, I saw your post, and I feel the exact same way. Even though I wasn't backstage, but similar feelings.
Yeah, no, it was definitely good to get back after like a whole year of nothing, It was really hard at the start of the pandemic when we were locked up that I had a bit of, Well,
it's all right.
We kind of lagged there.
Yeah, hold on.
Are we still on?
Yeah, you're still good.
Derek?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you're good. Can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so at the start of the lockdown there, I kind of like was feeling a little depressed because it was like a time of uncertainty. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do jiu-jitsu ever again, right?
It was looking that way.
Let alone compete. And things started to loosen up, and I started to get back into it. And then a few events started to pop off. Rogue was the first one that had their event, and started to get excited. And my mindset was it's now or never, right? Because I'm 33, and I really want to give a good effort at competing. So I really took this event seriously in the sense that I trained every day. I tried to focus on my diet, drinking lots of water, doing sober October and stuff. And, it didn't go my way. It was actually kind of a shit performance, but we're not giving up. I still have an event for November, and I'm going to keep on grinding all the way into 2021 and try to do as much events as I can.
Nice. And that's the right attitude, man. That's why I love you, man. Like, you're just the consummate competitor, right? Win or lose, win or learn. Like, it doesn't like that's you just smile and move on, right? And that's what I love about, like, there's lots of things I dislike about jiu-jitsu, but there's way more that I love. And man, like, to have the feeling of those events and seeing everybody together is just something about it, man. Yeah.
No, I shared it on my Facebook, but one moment that was really cool was they had the UFC fight like right before we went on. And UFC, although I don't really follow it that much these days, it does have a special place in my heart because I was into that like when barely anyone knew what it was. And it really helped me get through the lockdown and stuff because it was the only only event that was going on, the only sport that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went into our separate groups, and one person in that group had their phone out, and we were watching the fight together, and you could hear like little ooh-ahs like in different groups. And you know, after the fight finished, we all clapped and cheered, and then went into competition mode afterwards. But it was a cool moment to share with people that you know, share the same passion that I do. Mm-hmm. Even though they may be rivals or opponents, we're still brought together, you know.
That's exactly it, man. And the level of sportsmanship and like just respect for one another, man. Like that's what I love about this, because you know yourself, man, how much I struggle with competing. So when I can see people go in and do it, it's amazing to me. And everyone, how you can compete super hard and then be like, yeah. You know, like I love that. I love that, man. And I'm getting better, you know, like competing against you was a big step for me, man. And you just keep going, man. You just keep, like you said, you know, keep putting yourself out there, dude. And let's talk about sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that like the mental aspect, at least for me, and I think everybody has like a little bit of nerves and a little bit of anxiety for it. But it does get a little bit easier the more you do it. And, you know, it's just like anything else. It's practice, it's repetition, and with repetition, you adjust to it.
Yeah, and that's it. And without putting yourself out there, you're not going to be able to adjust, right? So, yeah, I remember, man, you were the first guy I called for this tournament, the first #1 pick. You're the first guy, so it's man. It's there'll be lots in the future where I know John and I, you know, MMA is our focus, and like we spoke a little bit off the record, I guess, but yeah, MMA is our focus. The plan is for this year. That's still our plan. So anyway, let's talk about the submission kumite. The first, you know, we can talk about the matches maybe one by one if you want, or whatever. But,
yeah, sure.
Sure. Did you get a chance to watch Jericho and Cam?
Yeah, I watched it backstage, and I also watched it once when I got home. It was a really good match. Both competitors spent a good portion of the match like in the standing clinch against the cage. It really looked like Jericho got the advantage in that. And I think a takedown occurred. And after that, there were some good scrambles.
Yeah, there was.
Cameron had a good heel hook and armbar attempt, but it was Jericho at the end got a nice transition with an armbar. It looked like Cameron was going to get out. He rolled out of it, but when he rolled out, he went into the armbar, and then he was forced to tap.
Dude, that was an amazing fight to start the night. Like, what a great match! Like, great action.
Well, it was very high pace. Like Jericho brings a certain type of energy that it kind of reminds me of Christian. When I'm rolling with him, Christian's just all over the place, and Jericho being the MMA fighter that favors wrestling. Right? Yeah, and conditioning, right? So
I hate those guys that have 58 abs.
Yeah, no, I used to have that when I was fighting, but I'm just starting to get my abs back now. Just it's in the morning time. I see it in the morning time when I flex. But
let me know what they're like when you find them. I've yet to find mine.
Yeah,
so. Yeah. Someday, I promised myself I'd be in the best shape of my life by the time I turned 40, and I think I certainly am. I turned 40 in September. I certainly feel as good as I've ever had, but. You know, abs are
nice.
They're not in my forte. But yeah, I thought Cam actually, or I thought someone broke their arm or something, because like I was sitting right there and it was just like crack, crack, crack. But I don't know. No one obviously got hurt or no one said anything. The boys are tough as hell. So no one's going to say.
Oh yeah.
It was
sometimes you can take a few pops and it's okay. It's usually like when you get a pop and it hurts immediately afterwards, that's usually an injury, and it's usually like a sprain that's sustained. But yeah,
Goes purple, I guess, eh? Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the degree of the sprain. Usually, like if you have a third-degree sprain where
Yeah.
the ligaments that attach the joints get teared completely, you'll get some bruising around the area.
We got a question for you. I don't know who this person is fucking around here, but we'll pull them up anyway. Asking if you'd grapple a naked Russian bear, bring east and west together. I don't know who that person is, but
Together.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what to do with that.
I I don't know about naked, but I'll grapple anyone.
Let's do it, Nadia. I like it. What is this? Who was the second match? Abdel and Ken.
Second match.
I
Yes,
believe.
yes. Yeah, that was another good match. I talked to Ken Beaton backstage, and he had Adele and a few heel hooks there. One good one, and he said, "Oh man, John, his knee popped bad."
The inside heel hook
And
too.
yeah, but also from hearing Gavin Tucker and also Ben talk, apparently he does that all the time in training. He just lets his shit pop and then gets out. Um, he was really good at slipping heels, and
Yeah.
that toughness and grit eventually earned him the win. He got a nice Ezekiel choke, like a nogi Ezekiel, which is really hard to perform, but he got it twice in that tournament. So
Who else did he? Oh, that's right. He got it on Jericho too. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
from the
right.
bottom position.
From the bottom. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
sneaky, man. And it's
yeah.
funny, man, listening to Gavin over there coaching. I was talking to Gavin after, man, and it's one thing I love is like listening to good coaches coach. It's like the way they speak and the way like just like Jared is very good at that. The way like and Gavin, he was like just how much fun when someone's so passionate about it, man. And like we all are so passionate about, like Gavin when he was talking about coaching, like in like just like little things, man. Like when he was talking to Abdel, like, oh, you do this every day, man. Like just really good coaching. And it was fun to
Yeah.
watch and be that close to him, man. But yeah, Ken told me that as well too, and I watched the video and I'm not sure, and Ken will probably shoot me for this, but I don't know if the legs were necessarily locked, like Ken's legs, were they locked together?
I
Quick
can't really
transitions,
remember.
man.
It looked like a 50-50 position to me. I know that Ken really likes to play the sort of backside 50-50 into outside Senkaku position quite a bit.
So he
So
got headed too. For a blue
yeah,
belt, man, the kid's really good. He took that in a week's notice too. Jumped in there and
yeah. I guess Adele just got his purple belt, but he competed before this event. He competed in a like sort of a blue belt absolute tournament.
yeah,
Won that. I guess got his purple belt right afterwards, and then did the purple belt the next weekend, which is pretty impressive. And I think he
came
got like
second.
came in second, so like
Yeah,
that's pretty legit.
it's funny because Gavin was telling me that he's like, I'm giving Abdel his purple belt next week. Is that will that affect the like competing in the tournament? And I'm like, no, like that helps. Like good. Like the kid's a real deal. Like it's
Yeah,
you see what he did. The scene itself is the real deal. Like that's why I get so pissed off all the time when they all these like Team Canada shit. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Like
yeah.
one person from the East Coast never gets invited. Ridiculous, man. It's all politic bullshit. Anyway, let's move on to the third match. Justice and no, who was the third match? Frank and Kalidas.
Yes, yes. So Frank or Chris Kalidas, he's been around for a while. I was actually his first MMA fight.
That's right. That's right too.
Little
Long
extra
time ago.
information there. He has really good wrestling and top position, heavy guard passing. Frank took this this tournament on short notice. He's only a blue belt, but did pretty well. But the match really was Chris's match to win. He was all over Frank. Ended up finishing it with a rear naked choke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. You know, it's funny though, man. Like again, like you say, Frank, a blue belt, but a super good one, a real tough one, just like Ken. You know, just like. But Frank's got this style, man. Like he gives me fits. Like he is a style that it's weird. Like he just keeps coming at you, and he's tough, and it's like I don't know how to explain it, man. And he's just really good.
Has a really good guard, really good at reverse De La Hiva and getting leg lock entries off that reverse De La Hiva. I've rolled with him a number of times just because one of my good friends, Pierre LeBlanc, is actually Frank's brother. So,
and Daniel as well, correct?
Yeah, Dan as well. Yeah, and all three of those guys are stubborn little fuckers. Let me tell you, they don't give up. They don't give up.
Go easy. That's right, man. That's so funny because that's exactly what like Frank is. Like I knew he would go in there and give Kalidas a good run. You know, like he would go in there without giving up an inch of anything. Like he's going to give it his all, right? And that's what you want. Like when Frank attacks, he doesn't stall. He's attacking, and to go in there with a guy like Kalidas, like Craig said it in the commentary. I roll with Kalidas lots. And there's one thing when you can have like hard, super hard rolls. But then there's another thing when this guy's an M1 world champion and fought in the UFC with like there's levels, and he did well. I was really happy.
No, for sure.
Yeah, it was nice for Chris to get in there and compete, man. So we got Christian Savoie, by far the best looking guest you've ever had. Judo, I know. This is the second time Judo's been on here. Judo's and if you haven't listened, are you still doing the black belt briefings?
No, that kind of died off, but you never know. It might come back.
Yeah,
it might come back.
I like it. It's a good name too.
Yeah.
This Nadia, I don't even want to bring up your comments. I have a feeling this is Liam Walsh at our club. I could be wrong. Always East West crack rush. Best recovery. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with any of that. Who was the next one?
I think it was Justice and Jesse Allen.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't really remember much of that match. I think Justice got him an overtime, and I believe it was a reverse triangle, but I could be wrong.
You're right. Look. It is him.
It's not Liam.
I called him. Only Liam, fucking hilarious, man. That's Justice. That was an interesting match. I wasn't really sure who was going to take that one because Jesse is very tough, very durable, and had a little bit of a size advantage on Justice. So I was interested to see what would happen there, but.
He took him down, I think, right off the bat, too, and, stayed on top for a good portion of the match. But Justice is that's one guy that impresses me a lot because he used to train with me with us at Synergy when I lived in Fredericton. And he was good, but, kind of easy to handle in the gym. And then he started training with Mitch. And he came back to Synergy just for one session to train back in 2016. The guy was a handful and was still a blue belt. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, he's been killing it a lot lately, too.
Yeah.
I think he was one of my favorites to win the thing.
Yeah, he's really talented, actually. And his legs are massive. He's built.
I know.
He's built for the sport, man. There were so many talented people in that bracket, including yourself, and it was, it's that match, man, was kind of one. I kind of was like you said, Justice was definitely one of those guys I was looking at, that would have a possibility of taking the whole thing. So anyway, I saw him make a post that was he took out his first black belt in competition, which was that's a cool that's the thing you take the takeaways out of it. It is what it is, man. And you take things away and whatever. grow 1% every day
Yep.
and everything, right? So, who else was there? Then the next was, how can I not remember this 2 days later?
Yeah, I know. I know that. Oh, it was Somerville.
Oh,
Justin.
Justin McKenzie and Mike Somerville. That's right. They were supposed
Yeah.
to do the bracket a match, and they ended up both wanting to jump in the bracket, which was awesome. Thank you for that, guys. And did
You
great.
know, outside of there's one thing that I noticed outside of maybe Chris Cladis and the two heavyweights, Rob and Jake. All the MMA guys, when they heard that they could take off their shirts, they took off their shirts. So it was a bare-chested match between Justin and Mike.
Right.
I watched that one pretty close because Mike Somerville is a good friend of mine.
Great guy.
It looked like he had a guillotine right off the bat almost. He pulled guard. Justice went to defend the guillotine, but when he went to defend, he kind of gave up top position, but right away went into an Ashigurami position. They scrambled a little bit, and then Mike ended up in Justin's closed guard, and then Justin finished with a nice triangle choke.
Yeah, it was. And Mike, I think he was trying to get his arm. I was watching the video today, but I think he almost got his arm back in there. But it's
I can't hear you. Sound went off.
how's that?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My mic went dead. Whew, yeah, you can see my. Where are we at? Okay, so we were talking about Justin and Mike. Yeah, Justin McKenzie, like he's out of SOB down in Cape Breton there, and Mike out of your club. It's funny that you mentioned that about the no shirts. That's right. As soon as that happened, they all took their shirts off, and good for them. They're all in good shape. Hey, whoever, if you're willing to do that, good for you. Get that experience in. There was one decal we had though there. Did you feel it? The Old Road Barbecue decal?
No.
Maybe I'll have to put those back on. Our decal for Old Road Barbecue was like sandpaper, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if anybody got any raspberries or anything out of it, but
oh yeah. The mat, you mean? Yeah, I noticed that it was a little rough.
Yeah, just that one logo, but I don't know. We had it's to set up that venue in 16 hours, man. Like obviously, so many people online are like, secret location. We knew what it was, blah blah blah. But the point, we fucking know that you're going to know what the location is. But the whole idea is so no one's talking, right?
Yeah. The other dudes that aren't in the Maritimes, they didn't know where it was. Of course, all of us Maritimers that are all close knit, we knew where it was, but
yeah, you got to do it safe, man. Like it is, and I thought it was, everybody followed the rules, the protocol, like everything I thought went really smooth, man. And so kudos to everybody working together, man. I truly mean that. Like when everything takes a team, like that's how it works. Everybody has to work together. You have to train, you have to drive there, show up, eat healthy, blah blah blah. The list goes on and on, man. So it's a team effort. And then we had Ben against Sebastian.
Yep, and that one went the distance there. Didn't really watch too much of it. Ben ended up winning the decision. I think he scored some points near the end.
Yeah.
Ben pretty much, from what I remembered, Ben pretty much played guard until OT. Once when they got to overtime, he was really pressing the cage work, and then got a few takedowns that I think won him the match. So
yeah,
that was an added element to sort of the game, is that cage, and it was very interesting. I mean, I got fucked up by that element, but it was definitely an interesting thing.
But that's the thing. Like for me, like I have no interest in doing a basic jiu-jitsu show anymore. Like
Yeah.
we've done 20 of them. Like that's boring. So
Yeah.
like for me, it's boring to like in my head, like as a developing thing, right? Like so
No.
like you do your tapper tags or you do there's a couple other things I'd like to do eventually too, but that element of being in the cage, man, I think it's a wonderful thing. Everybody really enjoyed it. Like you even talked to Joel. He was like, oh, like he doesn't do a lot of wall work, like he does, but it's not like it's a main component of training, right? And then here he goes and he's like, man, I loved using the wall, right?
Yeah.
So you're right. I loved it.
Well, Joel has like a really good sort of wrestling type of style on his feet, so that's going to work well with that sort of environment. I personally have used the wall like a lot throughout my jiu-jitsu career. It's just I'm a kind of a slow starter, and Joel just came out strong. Like,
Yeah, guns blazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah. Let's
I
talk
guess
about
we
that
can talk
match.
about that match because it's next. So I'll talk about it from a personal perspective. I felt really, really good mentally. I was confident. I felt the best that I've been in a long time. Everyone that I've trained with was like, "This is the best I ever seen."
That's
Had a
awesome.
good warm up, and like the nerves wasn't really bothering me, but I guess like during the match, that's when things started to crumble a little bit, and it happened very quickly, like just mentally.
Yeah.
He put me against the cage, and hindsight, maybe I should have fought the single off a little bit, but I was thinking about going to Ashigarami, but it was too late. He dropped his weight, and we ended up in butterfly guard, and we're so close to the commentators, and I could hear Greg talk, and I was just like, man, this is weird. And then eventually he just passed, and it was over.
So you lost. So you were basically lost focus. You were focused on the
Yeah,
commentator.
yeah. I mean, that's not an excuse because,
No,
like,
no, no.
I faced Joel like 3 other times before that, and that the outcome was the same. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's caught me with the same shit. But yeah, it was a little different. Like I could
And let's
hear him
not
just clearly.
and don't let's not fool yourself and anybody sitting here watching by any means thinking that Joel's some slouch. Joel is the guy here. If not the
Oh
guy,
yeah,
one of the guys on the East Coast, and lots of IBJJF tournament wins, competed in lots of wins under our banner, Rogue champion. The guy's done a lot, and so it's don't take anything away in that regard, right? And that's the thing about it, how quick it is. You think about one thing, like you say, this commentator, it's weird, and you're like, oh shit, and then you're like,
yeah,
like,
yeah. No, no, for sure. It's such when you go against someone that high level, it's those split-second decisions.
mm-hmm.
Like I really shouldn't have pulled guard. I should have fought a little bit more because that's what Ben did. Ben defended those takedowns, and like he didn't really get that much offense going, but he got to the full length of the match, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I Joel isn't someone that you want on top of you passing your guard.
yeah.
So I should have been a little bit more disciplined with my takedown defenses, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. I
That's it,
didn't,
man.
and that's
Yeah,
the outcome.
yeah, that's it. Well, and for any young athlete out there, getting into our sport. This is what a black belt acts like, right here. This is a prime example of a class act. You go in there, you compete hard, you represent yourself well, the sport, the club you come from well. You take your licks and you move on, and you commend the person. And man, that's why I love you, dude, and that's why you're a wonderful person for our community, and why lots of people love you and look up to you, man. So thank you.
Thank you.
Um, so who's that? Then I think this first super fight then was Rob. It's Rob and Jake.
Rob and Jake.
Thank God they didn't break our cage.
It was a bit of a slower match. Both guys are white belts,
Yeah.
and they're more MMA fighters that prefer like striking, so grappling was sort of both of their elements.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jake had top position a few times, and that's what won him the match at the end. But that fight needs to happen again, but in the MMA environment for sure, because it's going to be a good show. I think Jake hasn't fought MMA in a while, but he when he was fighting, he was kind of a superstar a little bit in the local scene around New Brunswick, and he has a pretty good skill set. Rob also has a good skill set, and it's just a tough guy, and awesome personality for the sport. As far as like he's gonna sell tickets, right?
I can guarantee you that, my friend. I can guarantee you that. That's the thing, right? Like people, some people, I'm sure there's people asking to themselves going, why do these guys get on the card? Or whatever. I'll tell you why they get on the card, because they sell tickets. That's why. Yeah. And second to that, it's experience. Those are two people that they work hard. They're messaging every day. Hey, what can we do? How, whatever they're doing, they're promoting themselves. They're trying, man. So what the hell? If you're trying, we're gonna try too. And it's not fighting, but we'll give you that opportunity to get in there, get your feet wet again. Get that more cage time, and then we'll do it in February.
In my opinion, they both deserve the spot, even though they're wipeouts, right? But they're guys that they're really good at self-promoting, which is going to be good for you as a promoter, right?
Mm-hmm. Lots of guys talk how much they sell. I hear it every time. Proof's in the pudding. Yeah,
the thing with like the jiu-jitsu community, we're not used to that sort of self-promotion.
Oh, no, that's exactly it. And I never, not too often do I ever tell anybody to share anything. I send the picture, and that's really all I do. I don't even, like, most people just post it. Back in the day, I would have, the Facebook chats and stuff, but it is what it is, man. It's jiu-jitsu, right? Like people, but MMA, you should be promoting it, like that's different.
When you're an MMA fighter, you're a brand, and you got to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu, it's not always the case. So yeah, that was a good match, man. And I think, the sooner we can do that, the better. And there's Zach Garcia. He's another guy that's in that mix too, all those three heavyweights, and there's a few other guys too. The first semifinal was Jericho and Abdel.
Yep. So Jericho came out strong as usual, high paced. Adele kept on playing with his neck, looking for guillotine chokes. You knew that the choking game was his game plan, which is smart, because I think Jericho would be really hard to finish with a joint lock. I think he's really tough and just wouldn't tap right away. And then Jericho had a really good top position, but it was such a strange Ezekiel choke that Adele got. It was from a weird position, but he made Jericho tap. So
I thought he was going to get out of it there really quick, but he didn't, obviously. And I don't know if the cage, because they were rolling towards the cage or not. I haven't watched it back, but man, it was an interesting match. And both, there's, I don't know. I would like to know. Well, I know Jericho, I think it's like 24. I don't know how old Abdel is, but everybody's so young. Judo, it's crazy. The scene is wonderful. It's just going to get better and better. I had none of these wrinkles in 2016.
I got some white in my beard too. You can't really see, but
I got a lot, and you can see it, unfortunately. So the second semifinal was then that'd be Kalidas and Drake. Whoo!
Yeah, man. Oh, and we forgot Drake's match too in the.
Oh shit! How did you forget Drake and Jeremy Henry? Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, so Drake finished Jeremy Henry pretty quickly. Jeremy did a good job, but Drake Drake, it was
Drake's
the superstar of the event, and that match with Chris Kalidas was crazy. The best match, I think, of the night. Really
No
back and
question.
forth, and he ended up winning in overtime by points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was phenomenal. Like, just absolutely. I have one clip here. See if I can find it right quick and show you. Where is it? See if I can show it to you here. Oh, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just
Hard to
5
see.
seconds. It's hard to see. It was just the end of the match too. It was like 2 quick transitions. The whole match was crazy, man. Like, so high paced. It was just, I can't wait to edit that into a highlight. I don't know how you edit that into a highlight video, actually.
I remember Drake. The first time I saw Drake, it was like a few years ago. I think it must have been 2016, 2015. You held a blue belt tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy from New York that you brought in.
Aaron Harris,
Yeah, and I think he ended up in the finals. I can't remember if he won, but I was really impressed with Drake back then. I was like, man, afraid, because I was like, that guy's going to come back up into the advanced division. I'm going to have to deal with him eventually.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't yet, but
he's big, dude.
Oh man, he put on some weight because he was a skinny guy, right? Mm-hmm. But he's been lifting weights. I've seen on his Instagram just him taking pictures at the gym.
Yeah.
But he put on some weight, some muscle, and like he's just cardio for days.
Yeah, ridiculous actually. Like, it's quite impressive, man. He looked Kalidas, and that's why Kalidas is 30.
I think he's in his 40s.
No.
No?
Well, unless he's lying to me, I don't think. I think he's maybe. Is Chris Young older than me? No.
I thought he said 40 backstage.
Maybe
or almost 40.
Let's spread the rumor. Chris Kalidas is 46. Everyone.
Yeah.
Chris Kalidas is 46.
If I got his age wrong, Chris, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you look old. It's quite the opposite. You still look like a young man.
You do look old, Chris, and you still will kick my ass.
Yeah.
No, Chris, yeah, man, he is a wonderful guy and another great role model in our community who's done a shit ton for our community, man. That is another guy who's done nothing but so much for me. Like, anything I've ever asked him to do without hesitation, sign gloves, sign that, or do whatever, man, compete. Like, he's just an all-around good person, man. So, yeah, it was a great match. Good for Drake. Whatever Chris is 40, Drake's 20, and Drake had like probably 40 pounds on him or whatever. Just world-class competitor, right? So, all right. So then the next match was Justice and
Justin.
That's right.
McKenzie. Yeah.
That's right. Heel hook.
And that ended with Justin initiating a leg lock. And I think he went into outside Ashy, but left his heel open for an inside heel hook. And it was a quick tap.
It was. Yeah, it was quick. Yeah. They, Justin is a guy, man, both we already spoke about Justice. I'm not shocked how well Justice did, but Justin, he's another guy. He's just willing to do whatever, willing to get in there, without hesitation. He was willing to step in there and always very supportive behind the scenes and positive and kind about, other clubs and stuff. And that's what you want, man, and he went out there and rocked and did very well and, took out Mike, and Justice is no slouch.
He was at our UFC party in our little corner. He came and walked with us. So
cool. Yeah, he's a very good guy. The group down there, Liam and the crew at SOB, they're good people, man. So, and of course, then it was Ben and Joel.
Yeah, and Ben did really well against Joel. He He went the full distance against him. Did exactly what I should have done, which was defend the takedowns. He was very diligent on that, and had a really good guard. Didn't let Joel really get a solid position. He was inverting back to guard quite a bit, and but Joel did what he needed to do to get the win.
Yeah, that's
and I hear that Ben's super hard to finish, especially with chokes.
I heard. Well, Ben, that same event you're talking about, the Blue Belt Showdown, a name that people, I don't know if you remember, but so Aaron Harris, coached by Mike Wacker, they drove from New York, but who came with them was Nick Ronan. Do you know that name, Nick Ronan? He's a Matt Serra, Jason Rao black belt. He's He's competed on Kasai and lots of events now here, but he came down and he competed against Ben in a super fight, and they went like 20 minutes, and he could not choke Ben. He couldn't. Ben just was like, no, not happening. And it was I was interested to see, and going back to Gavin coaching there too, talking about that match, because Gavin was coaching Ben and Joel, obviously, with Piercy, and it was nice because Gavin at the end of it was like, just like sportsmanship, man. Like, it was just, I love that stuff, like just good people who like are passionate about the sport, win or lose, positive. And I would have loved to be a fly on the wall backstage, man. I really would.
For sure.
All right, so then we had who was the second super fight? Luke St. Croix versus Hamza from Halifax BJJ.
Yeah, I think Luke finished that with a rear naked choke.
Overwhelmed him.
Yeah, I don't really know much about both of them. I know that Luke fights MMA, but I don't know what his MMA record is. I don't know how many fights he has.
I don't know. He's kind of like Drake, though. He's like a young guy. Was skinny, and now he's got some muscle on him, right? And cardio for days, training with.
And he was one of the shirtless Avengers.
We should have got a picture of them. Should have got a picture of them all posing in the cage, like like a calendar shot for. Yeah, and Hamza, he's from Halifax BJJ. He's a wonderful guy. Took the opportunity and ran with it, and he was pretty disappointed in himself. But like I said to him, I'm like, man, like you should be nothing but proud of yourself. Like, there's not one person should walk out of this building upset.
It's part of the journey. When you have a match, someone has to lose. Yeah. Sometimes it's the other guy. Sometimes it has to be you, and it's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's it. And it's like we said earlier, take it from guys like judo, who we just spoke about earlier, how you handled it, right? Like following that lead and get back to the gym, just work. If you want to be a competitor, you must lose. It's that simple.
Yep.
And then first semifinal was Abdel versus Drake.
Yeah, and
very good match.
Yeah, that went the distance as well, and Drake won. I didn't watch that match, so there's not much I can really say about it. But
a lot of transitions, man.
Yeah,
high level.
Drake was like I said, was the superstar of the event. Like, we'll get to it, but like he was really impressive, and he deserves it, right?
Well, let's get right to it. Justice and Joel, that was the other semifinal. Those guys have competed lots against one another. Like the one of them was going to kind of on top, and they were going hard at first, and finished. Joel finished. I don't know what he got. Rear knee. I don't know what he got.
Darce choke, I think.
It was a Darce choke, classic Joel Jacquard. Darce choke, right? So. And then the finals, man. Joel is a guy who, he's, again, we spoke about, he's won everything out here. There pretty much is to win. So he's got a couple babies now, or a second one on the way, and a big gym. Halifax BJJ is doing well. A lot of different things to focus on, but he wanted to jump in there, and it was cool. I liked seeing Joel back in there because it's been a while that I've done an event and having Joel on board, so it was nice.
and that was a good match too. But I was surprised because he took Joel down a few times and like stayed on top. And there was a few times that Joel got on top too and was in good positions, but Drake just stayed calm and waited for his opportunity to escape. And then turned it on the last 3 minutes in overtime, did enough to get the win, and he was crowned the champion. And that was really good to see for someone like Drake, because he's like I said, someone that works hard and is very passionate about this game, jiu-jitsu. I know that he wants to fight MMA, and I messaged him after the event, and I said, "Man, you keep it up. I'm going to see you on TV. I'm going to see you in UFC."
For real. Like, the kid's a star, man. And he's got the right mindset. He's got a great family. His mom, really good people behind him, and they've always been behind him. I remember every single event she showed up. She's always in the front row. She's always there supporting.
Oh yeah, she's his biggest fan.
That's it.
I have her on Facebook, and she throughout the whole event was like cheering them on, saying, "Oh yeah, you won this match, you won that match."
Yeah, so jiu-jitsu mom, like, and she's very very passionate about it, and that's what we love about this sport. We want more people like that. So give Nadine a follow, and slow cook dreams, I believe, is Craig Ferguson called it well, her business there. But yeah, she's wonderful, and like you said, Drake deserves every bit of it. Nothing to take away from Joel, and Joel said it very well. Like, I've been competing a long time, and Drake is a stud, man, and deserves every goddamn bit of it. He took the ring and the coffee, so he grabbed one of these, a whole box, year supply of coffee and pre-workout coffee. And yeah, it was great. It was a great evening, man. And then, of course, before the main event, we had, I don't want to forget about that one. We had Colton Granthouse from SOB as well, and Greg Oikel from Victory at Halifax. And did you get a chance to watch that?
Yeah, I think I was watching it backstage. The guy from SOB, I think, won that match.
Yeah. Nice judo.
Yeah, he has a judo background. I guess he's going to be in the same event that I'm going to be and fighting Ken Beaton, because I was sitting beside Ken Beaton as we were watching that match.
Nice.
And he's like, Ken was like, "Holy fuck, this guy's big."
Yeah, he is. He is. Well, I think he was like 165 or something. Ken's like 180 something or 185 or so. He's not that big, but
he's skinny, and Buddy's pretty jacked.
Yeah, Colton is. But I was, his judo looked really good. Greg looked good too. Like, you take your wins, you take your losses, but they both showed up. Great guys and great match, and I was happy to have them. So yeah, and of course finished with Drake. So it was a wonderful evening, man. A really, really great evening, and I think sky's the limit, man. I think that was a big turn. This year has been a big turning point for our company. As weird as that sounds.
You guys pulled through. I think this was hard for a lot of businesses, a lot of people that are in the industry that you're in. But you did enough to keep people engaged throughout the pandemic. You and John work really hard, and so kudos to you guys, and thanks for doing what you do. You've been the main guy, Cats, for these jiu-jitsu shows. I know that other people have done them; they did a good job themselves, but you really brought it to the Maritimes and brought a lot of exposure for us.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot.
I think you're part of the reason why this scene has grown so much, and the talent just keeps on increasing.
That's it, man. And I appreciate that a lot. I really do. And we've had lots of conversations like this, and if whoever's doing what, keep doing it. Keep growing. Keep being passionate about what you're passionate about, and don't stop. Like, that's the only way you're going to keep getting better. And if people say don't do it, fuck them. Do it anyway. Yep. If it makes you happy, awesome. And that's why we do this. John and I love it, man. And we love all of you guys, and we love all the girls and everybody in the scene, man. That's what it is. It's our family, and it's their family for a long time now, and it's probably never going to change. Just going to keep getting better and better, right? So we're honored to have you, man, and it won't be the last event we do together. I can guarantee you that. Hopefully we can bang off a couple more per year, and yeah, man, the sky's the limit. So thank you, John, and thanks to all our fans out there. Again, this event, it was record-breaking for us, Judo. It was record-breaking pay-per-view. It was our biggest event ever. Which was really awesome for us. And 11 countries watched that event. 11 different countries. Yeah, pretty awesome for little bumfuck nowhere people from Nova Scotia, eh, folks?
Yeah, I mean, the Maritimes are small. Like, not too many people know who we are down here. So
that's it. That's it. So if you're, I will say, folks, if you are listening and you know somebody in media, why aren't they doing an article? There's no reason. Get in touch. Tell them to be writing articles about us. The jiu-jitsu scene lives. The combat sports scene lives here on the East Coast. We're the only people in Canada doing it, and we're doing it in a positive way. So, all right, Judo, let's get out of here, man. Lots of love to you. Get at that dog.
Us.
Okay, buddy. Lots of love, man. Okay, pal.
You too.
Great episode, folks. Lots of love to everybody again out there listening. Thanks for tuning in to episode 129 with my very good friend, John Williams. Again, I can't say enough about the guy. We go back a long, long time, and a guy that I have the utmost respect for, and for what he's done for the scene. And he's just a really great, positive person to be around. So if you get a chance to be around him in the scene or anything, make sure you do so. Pick his brain and get some good advice and get some good roles in. All right, folks, lots of love. We are back, not tomorrow night, the next night, I believe, with Stephan Bonner. Yes, Wednesday night, UFC Hall of Famer Stephan Bonner is on the show. So yeah, catch the replay. The replay is available Thursday night till midnight. And otherwise, lots of love. Be safe. Be good. Be nice to one another, especially your mom. Goodbye.